Hello there, Music Man 0150, also known as Gary again, and I'm back now. I'll give you a little overview of each keyboard here before I leave the church, and I'm going to check a couple things as well. The keyboard we're looking at right now is the RD700GX, and as you can see, I got it powered up. And the reason I don't have all the lights on is so that I want to do a comparison with the display screens here. As you can see, this is the display screen for the GX, and it's got a nice contrast with the printing. The printing is like a bluish color with a black or almost a black background, and really makes it nice to read. And all these buttons right here, you can assign them to a specific setup. So then all you do is just punch a button and it goes right to the settings that you want. And as you can see, I have all these presets set up for yesterday's service. Now this coming Thursday, when we have music practice, I'll be changing some of those again and reassigning new setups. But the sounds on here are pretty much the same as with this RD700 original. And as you can see, this is a different display. This has a black text with a green background, but it's still pretty easy to read. And this is what I used to use as the main keyboard until the church bought the new one. And this one is a semi one-touch setting with the buttons. The only disadvantage of it is when you turn off the power, the assigned buttons that you use to access the setups, they go back to the first setting. So whether it's 10, 11, or whether it's 01, 11, 21, 31, 41, 51, whatever, that's what it goes back to until you hit, let's say you want to go like maybe set a button for 64. Then you have to hit this button here, which is the increment key, or the increment button, and then over here, as you can see, that button flashes. You push that, and then when you go to the buttons, then it assigns that particular setup, but only in that 10th of a digit setting, meaning that if the setting is in the 60s, it can only be on button number 6. If it's in the 30s, it can only be on button number 3. In other words, you can't take a setup like from the 60s and put it on button 3 on this particular model. That was one of the downfalls with this keyboard, which made it a little harder to access settings in a hurry. Whereas the new keyboard, you can access the assignment buttons with any of the digit buttons. You know, in other words, the setups can be assigned to any digit button. So like number 60 can be assigned to button 1 or 0 or whatever. It doesn't matter. So now I'm going to try to put this back on. There we go. Number 51. Because I want to show you something with that in just a few minutes here. And then this keyboard down here, this is a very, very unique keyboard as well. This is called an XV88. And I don't know if you can see the display on this one because it's smaller and the font isn't quite as apparent. And being it's a red background, usually red doesn't pick up very good on the camera. But the setting that I have on this right now is Pop Drum Set. Now this doesn't have an automatic rhythm system like the 700s do, but it does have very, very unique sounds that are just amazing, that you can't find on any other keyboard. And to demonstrate, I'm going to go into the favorites by hitting Shift and then Patch Finder. And let's see, we're on Dawn to Dusk. One of the popular sounds that we use on this is one called Steel Heaven. And what it is, it's actually a steel guitar with just the reverb after effects present. It's not an attack. And it works real with any key. So that's a unique sound that you just can't find anywhere else, because it's on a expansion card that only works in the XV88 keyboards. It may work in another type of keyboard, maybe like the XP series, but I know for sure it only works in the XV88 keyboard. It's the country card, and it's a different style card than what you normally find in most keyboards. Now, one thing I want to point out between the two Rolands, the 700 series, is the rhythm section. And I've been wanting to do this for such a long time because I want people to see, I want you to see the downfall from the new RD series compared to this original one. Now, I'm trying to get this to focus, and it doesn't seem to be doing a good job here because the print is small. But what I'm trying to get you to notice is on the very bottom of the rhythm setup on this one, there we go. If I get close enough, you can see it. There's a setting that says intro and ending. And right now it's on, but you can vary that. You can vary it so that it's off as well. So for example, if you wanted to have an intro to your rhythms, you can do so. If you want just a straight rhythm without intros or endings, you can do that as well. And you can also vary the rhythm variation with this here. It says rhythm type, which means you have either a 1 setting or a 2 setting. And what we're going to do is put it on 1, and then I'm going to show you the comparisons. But first I want to show you here on the new one, in the, let's see, we want to go to, I believe it's Edit. Yeah, Edit, and then we want to go to Rhythm, Arpeggio, and this is Rhythm, okay. And if you look here, we have just about all the settings that we would normally find, except for intro and outro, or intro and ending option, and rhythm variation. Now, in place of the rhythm variation, we do have rhythm set change. Well, that's common. Let's see. Oh, this is new. Rhythm arpeggio grid and rhythm arpeggio duration. And that's the new way of varying the rhythms compared to what's on the 700. So I'm going to give you a little demonstration first with this keyboard. Now that's the standard house rhythm, and you notice there was no intro or outro on it. But you can do tricks like this with this keyboard. So you can slow down the rhythm. Down to like 1/4 of the timing. Or you can go up to 1/24, such as this. And see, we didn't even change the tempo. And now it's on 1/16 H, which means high shuffle. That's 1/16 low shuffle, and then 1/16 the standard rhythm for this particular beat. But you notice now there was no ending, and that's all it is. You can't do an intro or an ending on that. I'll show you again. See, that's all you get. Now, on this keyboard, you can have the intro and outro. I'll show you. Oops, wrong button. See, same rhythm, but you can have the outro as well as the intro. Here's the outro, or the ending. See, now if I turn that off, then this is what you have as well as what's on the new keyboard. See, that's what the new keyboard does, but there's no alternation in having the intro and outros on it. And the other thing you can do is have a variation of that same rhythm using the 1 and 2 option. So we're going to restart the rhythm and then go to number 2 while it's playing and listen. Now I just went back to number 1. And see, that's the difference between the two. And I'm not sure why Roland did that. You know, they eliminated that feature on the new keyboards, but added different options. It's strange. But anyway, that's a little overview of all the keyboards here, and just want you to know that the GX is similar to the SX, and in a future video I'll show you the SX in more detail, which is the one I have at home. So hope you enjoyed the little demonstration, and keep watching for more. MusicMan0150 signing off, and hope you have a great day.